I think that there is going to be a future for online journalism, and there's going to be a future for print, but it's going to be a different look than it was 10 years ago, and than it is now. But if you see the slick magazines in the newsstands, they're thick and they're thriving. So print is not dead. It's just a matter of accommodating what the internet has done, and finding the value in print, what it is, and why people buy it. Hi, I'm Bruce VanWyngarden, and I'm sharing a chapter of my life for AHumbleSoul.com. Well, the transition of the paper into embracing digital media has been a long and up and down story. I do remember that we established the Memphis Flyer website in 1996, and it was very primitive, and if you look back at it now, you sort of laugh at how crude it was, but it was effective, and we acknowledged that was a place that we could put all our stories and then keep them forever. You know, as we get into the 2000s and the Craigslist phenomenon happens, and it took away the classified advertising from daily papers and from our paper to a great extent, and it was a serious financial blow that people were starting to use the internet to sell their products instead of just buying ads in papers and magazines. And so that transition has been interesting, to say the least. When I first started, the Flyer was probably 72 pages a week, and now it's on average 40 to 48. But the offsetting part of that is that we have 500,000 visits every month to our website, and there's money coming in to buy ads on the website. So it's sort of been a balance in a way, and the transition has also been in our work habits, because we used to focus on publishing for the weekly paper, and now it's become more of a daily publishing cycle. It's sort of the Wild West out there right now. I mean, you have to kind of write your way into where you want to be. You have to sort of figure out if what you can write and what you can report on and what your opinions are can be at some level monetized. Can you get people to pay for your product? And it sounds crude, but that's sort of the way it is. And it's tough, and it's a rare individual journalist who can do that. And sometimes they can do it by focusing on a particular genre, like there are blogs about wine or food or music that have gotten profitable, or at least been able to sustain the blogger. But it's a crapshoot. It's a tough thing to do. We are blessed in that we have local ownership, and I think that's the important thing about all of this, is that the papers around the country that have had troubles, both daily and weeklies, are papers that are owned by chains, by out-of-town ownership. And I think the Flyer brand is so strong in Memphis. We still have a 95% pickup rate for the paper every week. We put out about 45,000 papers. And that's been steady for almost 3 decades. So that tells us that we are valued and that we're seen as a part of the community, part of the fabric of this community that's important. Social media is a big part of what we do now. We have two people that are engaged in, one person does our Facebook and Twitter, and another person does the website and our Flyer magazine, Memphis magazine websites. But social media is constantly being tweaked. Every story that goes up on the Memphis Flyer website gets tweeted by the journalist who wrote the story, by me, and by our social media person, and then hopefully by other folks who see it. And because the more eyeballs we have on that story, the more credibility we have, the more we can, the ad folks can sell ads on the website. And so it's very important to be engaged with the readers and have a relationship with them. And I think not to do that in this day and age is very foolish. I think that there is going to be a future for online journalism, and there's going to be a future for print, but it's going to be a different look than it was 10 years ago, and than it is now. But if you see the slick magazines in the newsstands, they're thick and they're thriving. So print is not dead. It's just a matter of accommodating what the internet has done, and finding the value in print, what it is and why people buy it. And I think it's more that it's a presentation, it's a curated package of stories and ideas and illustrations and photos that you don't have to just keep clicking. You can just turn the page and it's presented to you for your edification of one kind or another. The thing I say to them is that get the basics, learn, I even have a copy here, Strunk and White, learn the basics of writing, clean style, get your facts right, and then just go and just write every day and see what happens. It's a good idea, I think, to get the feedback of an editor to tell you where you could use improvement. But it's sort of the Wild West. It's sort of everybody for themselves out there.